Welcome learners to Operating System Lecture Session 2. The objective of this lecture session is to help learners understand about computer memory hierarchy. Learners will be able to understand about the characteristics of various memory units and also about the performance of each of the memory units in detail. A memory unit is the collection of storage units or devices together. The total memory capacity of a computer can be visualized by the hierarchy of components. The memory hierarchy consists of all storage devices contained in a computer system, from the slow auxiliary memory or secondary storage to the fast main memory and to the smaller cache memory. Generally, memory unit of a computer system is classified into two categories. The first category is about the volatile memory. These are the storage unit that loses its data when the power is switched off. The second category are the non-volatile memory units, and these storage units are permanent in nature and they don't lose the data when the power is turned off. Further, when we examine this picture, it is highlighted that some part of the memory is directly accessible by the CPU and certain is in indirect access to the CPU. The internal memory, also known as a primary memory, comprises of main memory, cache memory, CPU, registers. These are directly accessible by the processor. The external memory, also known as a secondary storage or auxiliary storage, comprises of a magnetic disk, optical disk, and magnetic tapes. And these are the peripheral storage devices which are accessible by the processor via I/O module. At the bottommost, we also have the other sources of input that includes regular input devices and remote sources like access to external storage units and cloud storage, etc. Let us now proceed further in detail about internal memory unit. Internal memory unit comprises of CPU registers, cache, and main memory. Now we'll see what are registers. Registers are static RAM, SRAM. They reside in the processor of the computer. It is used for holding the data word, which is typically of 64 or 128 bits. Now there are variety of registers and each of the registers performs specific task. There are program counters, status word registers, accumulator registers, etc. The program counter register will hold the address of the next instruction to get executed. The status word register is used for decision making. And the accumulator registers, they are used to store the intermediate results of arithmetic operations. And next comes the main memory. The main memory occupies the central position because it is equipped to communicate directly with the CPU and with the secondary memory devices through the I/O processor. When the program not residing in main memory is needed by the CPU, they are brought in from secondary memory. Programs not currently needed in main memory are transferred back to the secondary memory to provide space in main memory for other programs that are currently in use. Having known about the registers and the main memory, we'll move on to the cache memory now. Cache memory is a special high-speed memory. It is used to speed up and synchronize with the high-speed CPU. CPU does a task in a very high speed, and the I/O devices and the main memory, they are all of different speed. Now to bridge the gap, the cache memory is going to support. There is a huge difference in speed between the central processing unit and main memory also. So between the central processing and main memory, we have our cache memory. Cache memory is an extremely fast memory that acts as a buffer between the RAM and the CPU. Cache will hold the recently used or frequently used data and instructions so that they are immediately available to the CPU when in need. When the processor has a single core, then it will have two or more cache levels. Presently, the multi-core processors will be having two level of each one core unit, and one level can be shared also. So depending on the need, the level of cache will be set, and in a multi-core processor system, 3 level caches can also be designed. Let us now know about the significance of the secondary storage devices. The secondary storage units offer permanent storage to the data and the programs to the user. We will see about each of the secondary storage units now. We'll start with hard disk drive. Hard disk drive is a storage unit installed internally in a computer. That is, it is attached directly to the disk controller of the computer's motherboard. Operating system, software installed in the system, and other user files are stored at hard disk drive, HDD in short. The solid state drives, SSD, is a storage media to hold and access the data. Unlike HDD, it has no moving parts. SSDs offer faster access and the noiseless operation, and they are also highly reliable. Next, we will move on to the USB flash drive, popularly known as a data stick or a pen drive, thumb drive. It is a portable storage device. It connects to a computer via USB port. Next is SD card. A secure digital card is one of the common type of memory card used in most of the electronics that we use in our daily life. SD cards are used over 400 brands of electronic equipments, which includes our digital cameras, cell phones, etc. When we are using our mobile phones, and if we are not happy with the storage available with our phones, what we do is we will go for an external SD card so that the memory capacity can be as per our need. And the next comes the CDs and DVDs. CDs, they are nothing but the compact disc, is a flat round optical storage media, and DVDs are nothing but digital versatile disc, DVDs. It is a disc capable of storing a significant amount of data than CD. So the capacity of DVDs are more than the CDs. Next is the magnetic tape. It is a magnetically thin coated piece of plastic wrapped around the wheels to store data. And the Blu-ray disc, they are designed to supersede DVDs. It is capable of storing several hours of video in HDD. So when we have a high definition video which is going to run for several hours, what storage media going to support us? It is nothing but our Blu-ray disc. Having known about the primary and secondary memory units, now let us understand about their characteristics. Characteristics of memory unit is about the capacity, the storage capacity, the access time, the speed in which we can access the storage unit is nothing but the access time, and the cost factor. Let us now identify the capacity of various memory units. Storage capacity is about the amount of information the memory unit can store. As we move down, that is from top to the bottom in the hierarchy, the capacity increases. Registers with a tiny capacity, cache memories with a smaller capacity, and the main memory and the solid state memory units, they have average storage capacity. Secondary storage units, they have a very large capacity of storage. So to repeat, when we are moving down from the top to bottom in our hierarchy, the capacity, the storage capacity of the memory units is found increasing. The next factor is about the access time. Access time is nothing but the time in which we are able to access the data from the storage unit. It is the time interval between the read-write request and the availability of data. Whenever a request is being made and the time required to fetch the data or to write the data to complete the write operation is nothing but the access time. As we move down from the top to the bottom in the hierarchy, the access time will get increased. It is based on the locality principle. Things whichever is closer to us, we can access very fast. things whichever is very farther to us, we will take some more time to access. So the memory units whichever are closer to the CPU can be accessed in a faster time, and whichever is farther behind the CPU, it will take more access time, to put it in simple. So as per the hierarchy of memory, so when we are moving from top to the bottom, the access time will increase. Registers provide super fast access because they are part of the CPU. Cache with faster access, main memory unit with fast access, little slow than the cache, and the secondary storage with the slowest access time compared to the other storage units. And the next factor is about the cost of storage units. As we move from bottom to the top in the hierarchy, cost per unit will increase. Internal memory units are costlier than the secondary storage units. Here is an illustration of memory units and their respective storage characteristics, whether volatile or non-volatile, etc. The blue shaded region are the one, they are the volatile storage units. The gray shaded regions are the one, are the memory, the non-volatile memory units. They offered a permanent storage of data as well as for the files. Registers and cache are part of the CPU, and next is the main memory unit. External storage units at the bottom two layer. It is seen that the storage capacity increases when we move down the hierarchy, and the speed increases when we move up. From this lecture session 2, computer memory hierarchy is briefed to the learners. Happy learning. Thank you.